Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be demonstrating Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow for Kids game and introducing my son Ray. So, hello. Alright, so let's get started. So basically it's a game it's a financial education game that came invented by Robert Kiyosaki. As you can see here, we have the board here. So the goal of the game is to make sure that your passive income is bigger than your expense, and by doing so you become financially free. So my camera is like that. So what you can see on the board, this is the kids edition. So it's a little bit simpler than the adult edition. You have paydays. The dollar sign means the paydays, and you have yellow, red, and green. So green. Every time you land on green, you try to pick an asset card, which I will explain later what they are. Similarly, you land on red, you pick up a liability card, and sunshine card is basically some kind of bonus. So that's the first component. You can put that down. Second component is every player needs to have one of those financial sheets. So what we will do is we'll set up that first. So I'll set up that first and I'll re-record again. Alright, so now the board is set up. So we can see all the cards here. We picked our character, which is just basically two of the rats. And we've set up our financial statement. So what you do, what happens is you start the game with $3,000. Each player starts with $3,000. Every time you go past, you go past one of those dollar signs. It's payday. So what happens is your salary is $1,000, so you get $1,000, but you need to minus your expenses. So every expense is $100. Likewise, every passive income is plus 100. So when you start at the start of the game, you need to fill the first row of your expenses with the tokens. So there's 7 tokens in total. So that means when you start on the game, you get paid $1,000, but you need to take away 700 expenses. So in reality, you really only get 300 income in the beginning. The goal of the game is to make sure that your income, your passive income, your number of green tokens is more than the number of red tokens. So as soon as you achieve that status, then you would have won the game. So I guess, well, let's get started and play for a few minutes to see what it's like. Alright, I guess I'll let Ray to get started.
So first you roll the 2 dice like that, and I got 10, so
yep.
With the green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So first what you do is you collect your salary, which is $300.
And why is that $300?
Because you've got your salary of $1,000 minus the 700.
Yep.
And then, so I've landed on a green spot here,
yep.
Which means you collect an asset card.
Okay, let's take a look. What does it say? You buy a rental house. Raise the roof. Put your hands up in the air.
Ta-da!
Alright, so what this means, you pay $1,000, but you add $200 into your passive income. So I guess you will buy it?
Yep, I will. There's 1,000.
Yep.
I'll get 2 green tokens.
Yep.
So now...
So that's your asset. We'll put it here.
So now whenever I pass the payday spot, I get $500 instead of only 300.
And why is that?
Because you've got 1,000 plus 200
yep.
minus 700 equals 500.
Okay, so now it's my turn. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I've got an asset card as well. Let's take a look. Well, guess what? It's the same thing. Pay $1,000 and get 2 passive income tokens. So sure, I'll get it. So I paid the bank $1,000, and the banker rate is going to give me 2 of those. Thank you. So we both collect 500 now when we go past the payday. All right, raise term again.
You get 2, 1, 2, and collect a
Sunshine card. Okay, let's take a look. What does it say?
Crazy guitar.
Okay, crazy guitar. Spin the wheel to see how much money you made. All right.
So we've got our wheel here.
Hang on.
Got our
Yep.
wheel here.
Yep.
And what you do is you spin it, and it's landed on $100. So obviously I collect 100.
Yep. So my turn again. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I've gone past payday, so I'll collect my 500 first. However, I land on an liability card, a liability tile, so I will get a liability card. What does it say? Do that expense. New computer in 6 games you borrow money to buy. Increase expense by 100. So this will mean I need to add a red token here. So now that will mean every time I go past payday, I collect 1,000 plus 200, which is 1,200, then minus 800, which means I only collect 400 now instead of 500. All right, raise term again.
5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ah, he's got a liability as well. All right, let's take a look. What does it say? Spend all day at the water slide. Pay 100 cash now.
Well, I guess I'll have to do that.
Yep. Well, it's better than having to add a token, because if you have pay 100, it's a one-time payment. But if you borrow money, say, and then you add a token here, then that means every time you go past payday, you get paid 100 less. So if you get a liability card that gives you a choice of paying upfront or add a token, unless you're close to bankrupt, otherwise it's strongly suggested you pay the cash upfront instead. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, guess I didn't land on the red spot this time. Since I've gone past payday, I collected my 400. And I will take a look at the asset card. What does it say? Oh, another 1,000 plus 2. Great. So I will definitely do that. 1,000 and then plus 2. So next time when I go past payday, I get 1,000 plus 400, which is 1,400 minus 800. That gives you 600. All right, so I guess that's the gist of the game. So what you do is you keep taking turns, rolling dice, landing on different squares or different tiles, collect asset or liability card as you go into them. And eventually, if your red token fills up the whole sheet, you lose pretty much. But if your green token becomes more than the red token, then you win the game because you're financially free. It means even if you lose this job that pays you 1,000 every time, because your passive income is more than your expenses, you can keep supporting yourself and keep going. So that's the whole point of Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow for Kids game. So it's probably I would say it's recommended to get the kids to play this game. It helps them to understand at a high level or in simplistic terms what it is like to have income, expenses, and how do you avoid to become bankrupt. So I guess thank you for a little Ray to help us out.
All good.
All right, and I'll see you next time.